What if your biggest financial success has nothing to do with what you know, but everything to do with how you behave? That's what we're diving into today. In this video, we're breaking down The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. It's a book that reveals how managing money isn't just about intelligence or skills, but about your behavior. So, if you've ever felt lost with money, stuck, or unsure about your financial decisions, you're in the right place. Morgan Housel's book challenges the traditional view of finance. Most people think managing money well is about having a great strategy, understanding all the numbers, or being a financial genius. But what if I told you the key to wealth is more about how you behave? That's right. The decisions we make based on emotions like fear, greed, and impatience are the ones that truly shape our financial outcomes. One of the most powerful ideas Housel shares is the concept of compounding. But he doesn't just talk about it in terms of numbers and percentages. Instead, he shows us that compounding works best when you give it time. It's about letting your investments, your savings, and your efforts grow steadily over the years without rushing. Housel uses the metaphor of planting a tree. You don't expect it to bear fruit the next day. You water it, you nurture it, and over time it grows tall and strong. That's how your money should work too. But here's the catch. Most people struggle with this because they can't delay gratification. They want the rewards now. That's called time preference, the tendency to favor immediate rewards over future ones. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in instant gratification. We buy things on impulse, spend without thinking, and struggle to save. But when you master the art of delayed gratification, you're not only building wealth, you're unlocking the power of compounding. Risk is another big topic in The Psychology of Money. Most people see risk as something to avoid at all costs. But Housel argues that risk is actually an essential part of wealth building. You can't get rid of risk, and you can't control it entirely, but you can learn how to manage it. The most successful people in finance know that taking calculated risks is part of the game. It's not about avoiding loss, but understanding that losses are inevitable. What matters is how you respond to them. Think about it. How many times have we seen people panic when markets drop, when a bad investment happens, or when their financial plans don't go exactly as expected? The people who succeed in the long run aren't the ones who avoid risk at all costs. They're the ones who understand it, embrace it, and bounce back from setbacks. You can't predict every twist and turn of life or finance, but you can prepare for it mentally and financially. Now, let's talk about wealth. Most of us associate wealth with flashy cars, big houses, or extravagant lifestyles. But Housel challenges this view. True wealth, he says, is actually invisible. It's not the stuff you can see. It's the savings, the investments, and the assets you've quietly accumulated over time. It's not about showing off what you have. It's about quietly building something that lasts. People who are truly wealthy often don't flaunt it. They focus on making decisions that prioritize long-term stability and security, not impressing others. But here's where things get interesting. Housel also argues that financial independence isn't a static target. It's not something you achieve once and for all. Financial freedom is a mindset, and it varies from person to person. What works for one person might not work for another. The truth is, financial independence is highly personal. It depends on your needs, your goals, your lifestyle, and how much risk you're willing to take. There's no one-size-fits-all formula. Flexibility is key. Your financial plan needs to adapt as your life and circumstances change. Here's the kicker. Money is a tool, and it should serve you, not the other way around. So many people fall into the trap of thinking that more money equals more happiness. But Housel warns against this. At a certain point, accumulating more money may not make you any happier. It's about using money to create a life that aligns with your values. It's about the freedom to live life on your own terms. More money doesn't automatically mean more happiness. But having the freedom to live a life you truly enjoy, That's the real value. But what about the emotional side of financial decision-making? Housel emphasizes that it's crucial to understand our psychological relationship with money. So many of us make poor decisions because we're driven by emotions. Fear, greed, and envy often lead us to make impulsive choices that harm our financial future. If we can recognize these emotions, we can make smarter decisions. This is where self-awareness becomes a game changer. Knowing your own biases, impulses, and emotional triggers around money can prevent you from making irrational decisions. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt the urge to buy something just because everyone else had it? Or maybe you feared missing out on a financial opportunity. Those are the emotional triggers that lead to bad decisions. The key is recognizing them before they take control. In fact, one of the best ways to avoid impulsive decisions is to develop long-term thinking. In a world of instant gratification, where we can buy almost anything with a tap of a button, taking the long road is harder but far more rewarding. The people who succeed financially are often the ones who can stay patient, stick to their plans, and avoid distractions. It's not always easy, but it's a lot more rewarding in the long run. So, what can you do with all of this? First, try shifting your mindset. Think long-term. Focus on making decisions that will benefit you in the future, even if it means delaying rewards now. Second, embrace risk, but learn how to manage it. Understand that loss is part of the process and prepare yourself for it mentally and financially. Third, remember that true wealth isn't about what you can see. It's about what's invisible. Your savings, your investments, and the security you've built over time. And, most importantly, be flexible. Financial independence isn't a one-size-fits-all goal. It's a personal journey that depends on your needs, your goals, and your values. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that more money will solve all your problems. Money is a tool, but it's up to you to use it in a way that brings fulfillment and freedom. Now, remember that question from the start. What if your biggest financial success had nothing to do with what you know, but everything to do with how you behave? When you understand the psychology of money, you can make better decisions, avoid emotional pitfalls, and build wealth that lasts. So, what idea stuck with you most from this video? Is it the power of compounding, the idea that true wealth is invisible, or the lesson on emotional control? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to dive deeper, pick up the book. There's so much more in there that will help you build a solid financial future. Thanks for watching, and keep growing your wealth, one mindset shift at a time.